Well, thank you all for having us. Happy New Year. I hope you all are safe and healthy. Do you now see my screen? Because I'm not sure. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and you hear and you see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So we can start. So yeah, in Kazakhstan, there were like the most important protest in the whole history of the country, which is only 30 years old, you know, because the country gained its independence after the collapse of the Soviet Union. And like now we call them Qañdy Qañtar, which is a Kazakh phrase for bloody January. Bloody because there were like a lot of victims, unfortunately. So that's why we put this hashtag on the screen. How should we start? Suinbike, would you like to start maybe, and then I continue?
Yeah. Also, there is on the screen, as you can see, the numbers from 1 to 10. It's the upcoming map of timeline of order of events that is being kept as a secret to the public here from government because of the internet laws and blockings and disinformation and many things, many events were somehow hidden, and that's why it's important to make it visible. And I'm going to make this map of timeline of events that is based on independent media, trusted independent media. So it's from 1st of January to 10th when the most important things happened. Yeah. And we can go to the next slide. On the 1st of January, we made another action, another performance. It was dedicated to Tavdikol, the system of lakes in Astana. That is called Nur Sultan now, the capital of Kazakhstan. And we wanted to address it to the administration because many discussions are being held, but no action is being done. And the developers are still putting land onto the lake and they won't stop doing it. And we just we decided that 1st of January is the perfect date to do that, and went right in front of that Mary building that was the last time that you could see it actually intact.
Yeah, because with the next slide, sorry, I gotta stop this.
Let's go forward.
Yeah, we just want to show you like the map, because the main protest, they started in the city called Janaozen, which you can see in the southwestern part of Kazakhstan. And so the protests, they were basically in every city, and the most important protest took part in Almaty. And yeah, another map of the country with different signs where you can see like almost in every city there were like really people went to the streets. And this is the same building that you saw on the previous video, like the mayor city administration building, city hall. It was set on fire, as you can see, and like protesters gathered around the building. And like the city, it really changed its look, because there were like a lot of buildings, they were burned or captured, or like shops and cafes were attacked, unfortunately. Just some pictures so that you know how it all looked. And of course, one horrible thing is that our president, the actual one, Kassam-Jomart Tokayev, he decided to call his friends to protect the country, because according to him, the country was attacked by some external forces. So he called to Putin and Lukashenko, and so that the Russian troops and Belarusian troops and also Armenian troops could enter Kazakhstan to protect Kazakhstani citizens from these forces. So like Almaty was invaded by different foreign troops, as you can see. This is another map we wanted to show, because what is horrible is that the country, there was like no internet, especially in Almaty. You can see it from this map we found on NetBlocks, this organization. You can see like this graph. Sometimes like it goes up because in some cities, like in Astana, in the capital, or in the western part of the country, sometimes they were like short internet connection for like very short time, but not in Almaty, where people didn't have internet for like 5 days. And Suinbike was in Almaty, so she can speak about that, like experiencing this blackout.
Yeah, on 4th of January, we lost mobile providers, internet from mobile providers. On 5th of January, we lost all internet globally. And we didn't have it for 5 days. The only possible connection was to use international SIM cards with roaming, and it only lasted for a couple of hours, and then they blocked it as well. And then we had several ways to go only to Telegram. We just used Telegram because it had proxies within the app. So some proxies would work for 2-3 minutes, and that's how we would, see the news for 5 days. When we were completely blocked and we couldn't go outside, it was a total blockade, like in, I guess, Leningrad back in the days. Because it was not just informational blockade, it was also the physical one, because the city of Almaty was completely closed. There were block posts, and the train message was stopped, and the airport didn't work as well. And yeah, so you couldn't move from the city, and you couldn't move from your house, because it was always set in SMS and the sirens, and they made a special threatening voice on television that would say, "Don't go out," of like another lockdown, but the voice of the lockdown was a little less more threatening, than this one this time. Yeah. Thank you. Nida, we can go to the next slide.
Yeah. We just wanted to say that while Suinbike was like stuck and cut off the world in Almaty, I was in Paris, so I had access to all the information. And while she had like no access at all, I was overwhelmed by all the information I was getting. Like I was updating my phone like every minute, and I didn't know. Sometimes I think I thought I would lose my mind because there were like too much information. And of course there were like some speculations, some like New York Times, for example, they wrote 2 times some articles where they were doing some inappropriate jokes, or they would use different, they would not know how our president is called, how to spell his name. So there were like huge mistakes, and our independent journalists were trying to kind of attack them like verbally, and to say like, people are there, people are blocked, and now it's important to spread the message to the world, and please fact check your information. So there were like some tweets like how Western media was perceiving Kazakhstan, because of course there was a lot of exoticization, and like also I remember a lot of academic, like people from academic background who work on Central Asia. In January, they started promoting their books, their papers on Kazakhstan, like because of all these protests. Another important thing which has happened is that the statue of the first president of Kazakhstan, it was took off in Taras. There is another like article. We can send the presentation to you guys so you could check it through when you have time. And this is also a very important photograph, which was taken on the 6th of January on the Almaty city square, at the central square. And the banner, it says, we are simple people, we're ordinary people, we're not terrorists. Because, the president, he called everyone who was outside in the city, on the streets during these protests, he called them terrorists, just to justify and legitimize the violence that was like, that he had to use against his own people. And what we know is that most of these people, they were killed after like showing this banner, because there were like troops everywhere. And this photo was taken by one friend of ours who was LGBTQ activist in Almaty, and he managed to get away from this place before like the shooting started.
Yeah. And if I can add, Dilda,
yeah, sure.
I've been there on this day right before Amir was there too. So we went with Janar Sikirbaeva, another LGBTQ activist, to just see what is there that is being hidden from us so much, because we couldn't participate in the protests during all of the days previously, and we went there and we reached the Respublika Alanı, the square. This is the square on the picture, and we have seen 400 or 500 people there, and there they weren't any terrorists. They weren't violent. I saw them with my own eyes. Even me myself have video documentation that I had. I just couldn't really show the faces of these people, because the moment I started filming, they asked not to. And yeah, so they were on the square at this moment. There were different groups of people, so they weren't just one homogeneous group. It was different. There were both Kazakh-speaking people, people from Almaty, and Russian-speaking people, Kazakhs that would speak Russian only, and from Almaty or from other places, because there were people from Altyn Orda and like the district, the outskirts of Almaty, or even Taras. Some would come from different cities also to participate in this protest in Almaty. So they were different, and they we talked to them for a second, and we just wanted to warn them that we have received this SMS that the ODKB, but it's actually CSTO, I think, the troops, the foreign troops, they were said that they would come in a couple of hours already today on 6th of January, and we just told them that this is what we heard, and they said it's okay, we're waiting for more people to come, we won't go anywhere. And then what we learned is that these people were shot at least. And we know this from this message from Amir, because he was a little later, and with his text that he wrote that we got from Telegram with proxy server in order for 2 minutes that we could access. So I realized this is truly a repetition of 1986 events that happened on the same place, Zheltaksan, as we call it. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dilda, you can go on.
It's fine. I mean, there's also a little video we wanted to share with you. I don't know if you will manage to see it.
Цветы в вазе, говно в унитазе. Что, ребенка задерживать, что ли? Смену на Василия. Пришел час насилия. Отопью напиточек. Это время пыточек. Ах вы пытки-пыточки. Как на платье выточки. Вроде бы хуйня и хуйняна, да с вас никак нельзя. Тут и сказочки конец. И Василию пиздец. А мораль, бля, такова. Закатать всем рукава.
Я просыпаюсь в стране под пение птиц, а не под звуки взрыва.
Yeah, it's like a little compilation of everything that has happened. Let me get back to the presentation. Sorry. Okay. And I think that's another video, but I don't know if we still have time.
Maybe for a few seconds and then we...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's another video.
Because it's like, it comes from Kyrgyz citizens, because Kyrgyz people, they were very supportive of Kazakhs. They organized some humanitarian help, and they like were supporting us a lot.
Yeah. this Akin, this artist, I don't know if you can hear, there is a special song that he wrote dedicated to these events, and how they Kyrgyz people support Kazakh people in the same battle, because same issues that they are addressing and protesters in Kazakhstan were addressing and are still addressing. And the style, the tradition of this Akin is the typical Kazakh and Kyrgyz style of singing and playing dombra. Yeah.